So hey guys, this is a bit of a review on what it's like. And I know that this car was mainly popular in Australia and that it's probably not a very common thing, the 180e compared to the 190e, but as basically it is the same as some of the, like the lower models of the 190e. It is an inline 4 1.8 litre. Now I'm not totally sure because this was basically designed to be a like smaller engine version of the 190e, but the fact is that the 190e had a 4-cylinder 1.8 litre version, so it's always a bit, I'm not totally sure with what's actually different, because I know the body part components all the same, it's all identical stuff like that, but like actually like I'm not totally sure what the difference is there, but that's okay. Just basically gonna do a quick driving review for today, see what it's like. I do have a slightly squeaky tummy belt, but basically I bought this car about half a year ago now, maybe just under half a year now, so I've had it for quite some time, and I mean, it's been treating me well for a car that was made in 1992. It is doing me absolutely wonders. I'm not having any problems with it. It is, I mean, yeah, I mean, I've taken it, you know, for hill runs and all that. I've taken it, you know, through all this sort of stuff, and I mean, it's still holding up, no engine problems. I will say the gears do tend to, are a bit fiddly with this. They do tend to be a bit shunty and whatnot. I'll see if I can explain it better at some point, but I mean, it works. I mean, if I put it into third, it does slow down. You can feel it grip a little bit, and then put it back in the drive and it goes a lot smoother. And if I was to shift it down into second, then it does also get, like, you can feel it grab, like it's kind of got a force pushing against it. But I mean, to be fair, that's expected from a car like this, and it's one of those things where you're probably not going to use that often in a car like this. So I mean, it's pretty good. And it's, if you put, I mean, the accelerations in this car is good. I mean, air conditioning works. I will say the rear windows, only from like the rear window buttons, from here it works, but from the rear window buttons, the windows don't work, like they don't go down. And also they've actually fallen out of their socket, like the little thing, but it's nothing crazy deep. You can always just push it down from here if you have to. Actually, if there's no one behind me, I'll just slow down, put it into, like, you can sort of hear it clunk, but this is it in second. Now it's kind of gone away, which is a bit interesting, but it used to have this, a bit of a noise to it, second gear. But third, that's bright. Yeah, it's fine. Well, but also, I also found that when you put it in third, there's bumps here, so I don't know how well this is going to work, but if you flat for it, it'll shift down, shift into second gear, third gear, then shift into third gear, but it'll only stay in third gear. Like if you flat for it, it will shift down and won't stay in third gear, but when it reaches third gear, it won't go any higher up, which is quite cool. Lights work, everything works in this car. I mean, for the price that I got, I bought this car for 5k, and that's in AED obviously, so it's quite nice. But the fact is that I've seen, you know, from looking around, I've seen other 180es and 190es that have been going for obviously a lot higher price, yet I know for a fact this one is in great condition compared to some of the other things that are out there. So I mean, yeah, so I reckon I really just got lucky with this. The guy I bought it from, he was, you know, you'd think it'd be some old guy, but it wasn't actually. It was a young guy, but he had another 190e, which, to be honest, it didn't look in great condition, but he basically said he wants to be working on that. He's only selling this for, like, to pay for paint, which, I mean, fair enough. Got it for 5k. Like, I went there and got it on the day. We didn't, like, come back the day later or anything. Like, went there, picked it up that day, you know, like, it would all had happened in a day, basically, sort of, which was nice. Haven't had, I mean, no really, like, apart from the brakes were really worn down, but I mean, I lasted through those for a few months and then had to pay for those, which is a bit tough, but I mean, not much you can do about it really. But But yeah, I will say the suspension in this car is, I've had, because I've like taken, you know, my mates and whatnot in the car, I've had heaps of compliments or just people bring up how soft and like bouncy it is. Like it's so soft. It's a bit hard to like show it. I guess if I do a little, find a bit more of an open road, I can do a bit of a zigzag. Hopefully that might be able to show more of what I mean by wow, that is very bright. But yeah, if I open road like this, I can probably do, should have explained, you can really see the car zigzag from like one side, like it really leans, like you can really feel, I know how to really explain it, but basically the suspension in this is very, very soft. It's not crazy high off the ground in this car. It is, like it doesn't have a lot, but it's also not crazy low either. It's actually in quite a good middle point. And obviously for future, I want to probably put it on bags or some sort of more stiffer suspension, especially if I start doing engine mods and whatnot. But to be honest, apart from like, obviously I would like to have it not crazy low, like slam low. I don't want it to be slam low. I want it to be at least where the fenders are in line with the top of the tire or just a bit above. But I quite really do like how soft the suspension is, which makes it so comfortable. I've been on 2-hour drives in this car, which by the way, I mean, this car can happily sit on the highway, you know, 100, 110, whatnot, happily sit at that for like, you know, hour, 40 minutes, perfectly fine. And it is so fuel efficient too. Like I drove for like 2 hours and it barely went down at all. Like it was so good. Like fuel efficient in this car is great. There is a knocking in the back, but the thing is, I'm pretty sure that is due to something in the back. I don't think that's from the car itself. If I took everything out, that'd be fine. But I mean, yeah, bought new tires for, it all seems to be in like, you know, fairly good condition. Also, this is really off topic, but I do want to throw into anyone watching this, at least who's from my channel, from the gaming channel, like the gaming side, I will be gaming. It's just that I've lost kind of the interest in it, or like not interest in gaming, but it is a lot of difficulty. And for anyone who knows about the stuff that's happened with Phantom Forces recently, those was a game that I'd obviously play a lot, but due to all the stuff that's happened with that, if you don't know, obviously I probably won't be posting any more videos on that and recommending it, which is a bit upsetting because I played that game for years. It's been a big, you know, something I've loved playing, one of my favorite games. But, you know, sometimes stuff just happens. But anyways, back to this, probably should indicate. But yeah, I mean, all the lights work too. You know, low beams, high beams, all that sort of stuff works. It's been checked. Also, I do want to try to figure out whether anyone knows. I tried to search it up a little bit, I couldn't figure out. But on the rear, like on the rear tail lights, there's obviously your brake lights, your reverse lights, your park lights, and then there's another set of lights, which I'm not too sure what that does. We were trying to figure it out, me and my dad, but we just weren't totally sure on what that was. But yeah, I mean, apart from that though, it's quite nice. Also, it is very quiet. This car is very good at keeping the sound in and out. I mean, we were like, I was blasting music in here one time, and well, to be fair, I will say, we obviously, since I don't have a proper stereo, like Bluetooth stereo, I've only got the old tape stereo. I don't really use it. Well, I've never really used it at all. So I end up using my JBL speaker, which I've got here. So to be fair, that probably doesn't have this, whilst it's still loud inside the car, it probably doesn't travel as well as if I were to be using the speakers built into the car. But I mean, from yelling and screaming and like playing loud music in the car, it's quite quiet from the outside. So I mean, that's pretty good. And also I found that outside stuff too tends to like really be muted. I might wind down the window to show. See if you can hear the exhaust at all better, possibly. I mean, it's quite quiet. Like I said, it's only a 4-cylinder, what's it called? Inline 4-cylinder 1.8 litre, so it's not like it's got some crazy amount of horsepower stuck to this thing. I will say it has this, I think it's from the air intake from this, because obviously it's got that big like platter sort of air intake. It has this like whine to it, like this supercharger sort of whine, which I actually love about this car, which obviously an engine swap will be happening, because I don't think this engine, like, it's good and all, but I have a feeling if I was to mod stuff to this car, then there will be probably engine problems, because I mean, it has a small, well, the thing is, we don't know if it is leaking or not. Like, it has a small leak, and very, like, it's random. Sometimes there will be drops on the ground, but it's like barely noticeable. Like, you'll see a drop or two on the ground, which, to be honest, now that I think about it, it might not even be, well, I don't really know, but it's very, very occasional with that sort of stuff. But yeah. One of the things I also notice about this car is, well, one, I always get told about how big, like, obviously I noticed this too, but the steering wheel in this, like, compared to, you know, my mum's and my dad's car and like my mate's cars and whatnot, they've all got, like, I guess, well, to be honest, it'd probably be normal size steering wheels compared to this, which has this big round sort of wheel, which it was, at first it was kind of inconvenient, especially if you're getting into the car. But I mean, now I've had it for so long, like, because my knees, obviously I'm a bit of a taller person, so my knees don't stand here great. The seats, I mean, even though the seat's pushed all the way back, it does sort of, you know, there's a bit of a struggle for my knees. Oh, I did not indicate there, my bad. Anyways, but yeah, even though it's quite a big wheel, whatnot, it's quite comfortable actually, to be honest. It actually is such a comfortable, especially because the fact is that if it was a smaller wheel, it would be up here a bit higher, but I literally, at my knees, I can rest my hand on my leg, hold it, and the fact is that I like this thing because some wheels, obviously, you know, they've got the pole there, like the bit of the wheel there, whilst this doesn't have that there, so it actually makes it so easy to just rest your hands like right there, which is nice. I really like, basically, I really like the placement of how the wheel is, like you can hold it. I normally, obviously, if you're driving a bit more intensely or whatnot, hold it there, which is actually quite comfortable. This wheel is just a very comfortable wheel. I quite like the big wheel actually. At first I was a bit iffy about it, but it's one of those things where I was thinking of obviously swapping, because obviously I wanted a wheel that I could, you know, pull off and on and whatnot. But now that I've got this wheel, I'm so used to it, I'm really just planning on maybe getting someone to, obviously be a cost a bit of money, but getting someone to sort of do it up, add wood pieces to it, make this wheel look nice as it is, because honestly it is so comfortable to use. I actually love this wheel. But yeah, also talking about future plans for my car, and I don't want to say much because obviously I don't want to spoil what I've got in mind for the future, but obviously it's gonna happen. But I think color-wise, I'm going to keep it the same with this white and the grey trim, because that's just how I, you know, it's just what I like. I quite prefer it. At first, I was thinking of like some nice, crazy, cool colors, which maybe if I get another car, my plan is for in future as well. Then I do have another car in mind to get, because there's obviously two dream cars for me. I think it's like, but yeah, I've got two dream cars in mind, so hopefully one day that becomes a reality. But for now, for this car, I have an idea of, I'm gonna get Mercedes AMG rims. I'm not gonna specify which ones, but I'm sure most of you knows for what you've seen people use the AMG wheels for on these. And also engine wise, I've been mixed on two different engines. Now, obviously, I've done a bit of research, obviously seen people fit them in and whatnot. So, but there is the M113 or the M113K, which is Mercedes V8, which obviously is a very, very popular V8, very common thing, which I'm hoping to swap into this. Big beefy engine, obviously, will lose all fuel efficiency for that. But sort of things. Or the other one is, I was thinking the M104, the Mercedes inline 6, because I think that just looks wise. Looks wise, it is a beautiful engine. It's a very, very nice engine. Plus, if you were to turbocharge it and all that sort of stuff, would definitely be quite a simple engine, or like easier engine to do that. And it being, the fact is that also it being a Mercedes engine would mean, well, one, it'd be probably easy to fit with a Mercedes, and that like all parts and everything might be able to be sort of similar, the same, which would be nice. But yeah, those are the two current ideas. I'm not totally sure on which one I want to choose. The idea is obviously this is big plans in the future, but maybe get the M113 for this big V8 engine, and then buy another Mercedes, because the fact that I want this one to be more of a looks car, sort of like we'll get a nice kit on it, lower a bit, put the V8 in it, and then whatnot. But I'm also thinking maybe if I ever have the money for it, to buy another 190e and then have that be more of a race car where I use the inline six, you know, turbocharge that. I'll have the full Evo 2 kit, because that's really the reason when I got one of these cars was because of the Evo 2. Well, the reason I actually first liked this car was back from A$AP Rocky and Need for Speed. That's what got me into this car. I actually fell in love with it when I saw that. And then I obviously did research, and one of my best mates, he's trying to get an E30 right now. That is his plan for his car. That's what he wants to get. And I thought, well, why not choose the rivals for each other? Because that'd be, if we both end up building them up, then killer duo of cars we'd have. But yeah. Anyways, apart from that, yeah, the Evo 2 kit would be very nice and would be an absolute love to have. But I think, because it's not even necessarily it's more expensive, because I have found, obviously cheaper ones aren't going to be as good, but I have found some. I've found some that are cheaper, but obviously it means that the quality might not be as good or whatnot. But it's also style-wise, preference-wise, like I said, I do want something that will be, you know, nice looking, because obviously big Evo 2 kit would be great and all, but the thing is, I don't really want to get an Evo 2 kit if all I've got under the engine is a 4-cylinder 1.8 litre. It's like, you know, you'll pull up and then you won't hear anything. So I was thinking, at least until I get an engine swap, or if I buy another one, then maybe. But for now, we're going to stick with something a little bit more tame, a bit more calm of an engine, which would be probably a quite nice thing to have. But yeah. Just soft it is. It's just such a, I don't know if you guys can really see that, but it really leans, like it really has a lot of lean to this car. It's very soft suspension, which, to be honest, now I know for like racing wise and like, you know, performance wise, you want a bit stiffer suspension, but I mean, for what I use this car for, especially because I don't ever really go take this car out like that, it is just such a dream to drive, such a lovely car to drive. I think I'm lost actually, I don't know where I'm going. But yeah. Quite a few cars all of a sudden. I don't know what's happened here. Busy time now. But yeah, I mean, also for interior wise, it's obviously all this like blue leather, and I was thinking, because to be honest I quite like the cream color look, but I've also thinking that white car on the outside, cream car on the inside, basically like very two light colors. I don't know how that's gonna look. Maybe it'll look fine, white on white. I mean, that would never really go wrong there. I don't see why that'd be a problem, but you know, it's not always the greatest look. We might have to go one way and then go take a U-turn by the looks of it. That might be a lot of traffic actually. Maybe we just go this way. You know what, let's go take a different route because we're not sitting here. Let's go somewhere else. Let's go for a bit of a wind around down some back streets or something maybe. But yeah, actually maybe I'll just head back now. But we'll go a different way. See if I can find my way back. Actually, we'll go straight. But I really need to pick better times to record, man. Anyways, but yeah, I was thinking different interior. For the wheel, I was thinking having like wood across the top, wood on the sides and wood on the bottom, and have it keeping the black sort of in the middle, but not wood all the way around, but like having little bits of like the black that wraps around. I think would look quite nice. Stereo wise, I was just gonna chuck a normal like Bluetooth stereo in there, and then my mate was like nagging me, being like, I should get one of those ones that like folds out with the Apple CarPlay. And I was like, I don't know, that might just feel a bit modern. And I was thinking about it. I mean, that'd probably be kind of a cool thing to have, like it just with like the old, because what I want this car to look like is old new, if that makes sense, like a modern old car, where it's old car, old style, but done in a modern way. Like it's like a rich person's house, like an old rich person's house, if that makes sense. But yeah, maybe something like that over the next years or something would be something quite cool to have. But yeah, we'll go right here. We'll see where that takes us. I'm not totally sure. I don't normally go right, but I'm sure it will lead together at some point. Don't see why it wouldn't. How well the camera picks up. I mean, I'm using a GoPro like Hero 5, so we bought it because of the Hot Wheels thing, obviously, because I'm so much in the cars. We bought it for like the little Hot Wheels one you can fit it in, and the Hero 5 was the last one that I think they had done it in, unless this is the Hero 6. I can't remember which one exactly. It's whatever the latest one of the box one they was. I bought it a few years ago. I ended up using it a bit for like mountain biking and that. I used to have a few videos of. I think I took them down now. But yeah, I've never actually been this way. I'm not sure where I'm going here, but I'm sure it'll lead back somewhere. But yeah. Also, talking about with my mate, I reckon, because we're both just sort of deciding, because he kind of wants, because obviously I don't want to paint it black if I ever get the chance, because I feel like it might just look, because I think black does look better. We were talking about black does look like better, but we also feel like that it's just going to be a bit bland basic if it ends up being black now. So I kind of want mine to sort of stand out. Also photo wise, because obviously I don't know if you guys know my Instagram or anything, or if you've ever seen, but taking photos of black cars just don't look as nice compared to white cars. Like taking photos of white cars actually looks so good, especially in certain lights, like especially like a light like this where all the sun would be reflecting and whatnot, can always show really good you know, sort of like temperature light, which I've always preferred quite a lot. I actually know where I am now. That's all right. Where are we going? Bit busy now, isn't it? I mean, to be fair, it is what, 5, 6 o'clock, so everyone's heading home now. Oh, we'll see if we spot some nice cars. I mean, I think we've driven past a couple already, but oh well. Also, I have found sometimes, very occasionally, the air conditioning in this, it must be scraping something, because it's only ever happened like 2-3 times out of the whole time I've owned it, and but it would like scrape on something, and I don't know, you'd have to like turn it off and on again a few times and like mess around with it a bit before it stopped, or just start driving a bit and then it kind of went away. I'm not sure what that was or why it was doing that, but clearly doesn't seem to be too big of a deal. I mean, that's alright. But going back, I don't know if I finished what I was saying, but so I'm either probably going to put a V8 in this if I get the chance. Obviously that's a big thing to say, just chucking a V8 in there like it's nothing. Obviously that is a big thing to do. Heat stuff will come with it, like a new transmission, hopefully, because it is currently an automatic now. But that's really because the only other manual there was, like there were no manuals in South Australia. The only other manuals were out of state, and they were all literally, you know, 3 times, like the cheapest manual was 15 grand, whilst I bought this for 5. So that would have been obviously, you know, 3 times more, which just wasn't going to happen at that time. So hopefully, because I've watched a few videos, like I have been watching videos on how to change stuff. I've done a bit of research and whatnot, so I'm not like totally blind to what it's going to take to build this car up. But yeah, so I probably switch out the transmission, but obviously also with a V8. Now I did do like research. The engine in this car weighs about, I think, just under 150 kilograms, whilst the V8 only weighs 200 kilograms. I think it's what I've read, where so it doesn't seem like, if it's only 50 kilograms heavier, which is still a bit of weight, not get me wrong, but it's bearable enough to where I probably might be able to use the same engine mounts. Obviously at that point I probably will need new suspension, maybe stiffer in the front, which will be a bit upsetting because I do quite like it, but when that happens, that happens. But yeah, new transmission, especially new drivetrain. This engine, when it came from factory, I believe did about 93 horsepower. That was 32 years ago. Now who knows, I don't know how much of that it's got left, but obviously that is a big difference. And so the you know, drivetrain and it's gone from my head now, the differential might need a slight upgrade depending on what goes on with that. Pick up some KFC whilst we're here, pull through the drive-through. But yeah, I mean, be a plan for a bit. Nice Mustang. Now, but there is, though, I do have a plan for my next car as well, which will be a fully sort of stance-style car, compared to this, where I kind of want it to be a mix between not stanced, but like clean but sporty. Like it's going to have sport components. Whilst my next car, the idea for it, it's going to be full, just stance, full on. Like I was, you know, taking the piss out with my mate, saying we have chandeliers in it. It's going to be one of those. It's going to be one of those just decked out, full on glass cutlery and like you know, glasses all through here. It's just going to be rich, you know, full, like, you know, full leather interior seats, like TVs in the car and whatnot. All that stuff is the plan. But yeah, anyways, we're back at the road. I do need to be in that lane though, which is a bit of a problem. So I will see if we can get ahead of a truck. I'm not sick, but I don't know why my throat is just dry. It is not with me today. Also, I do need to get a head mount for my GoPro. I'm currently just using my chest mount, but it seems to be working quite well. Say you definitely do smell some oil burning. It's only occasional, it's very random. Like you could you know, absolutely flat floor the gas out of this for like 10, you know, 20 minutes straight, half an hour, and absolutely nothing comes back fine. Obviously you hear like the cracking from the metal expanding, but you won't smell anything. Then sometimes you drive, you know, 10 minutes out casually, drive down to the Oval or something, and then you can really just smell. It's just very, very random, very occasionally. Like it goes both ways too. Like sometimes it does smell after doing stuff like that, but yeah. I mean, I will say though, the other day, a few weeks ago, I met up with some mates because I just pulled up to take some photos and whatnot, because like I said, I do a bit of photography, whether anyone knows of that or not, but take photos, and then they asked me to come with them to, you know, if they wanted to go, you know, for a drive. And I was like, I don't know, I mean, my car obviously isn't gonna, with what they have, it wasn't gonna keep up with them. They were like, no, you'll be right, just come with us. If it comes to it, just, you'll go behind. So I went with them, drove all the way out. The moment we got to where we were going and everyone put their foot down, done. I was flat flooring it, and I know for a fact they weren't, and they were already just gone from me. I was like, alright, I see how this is going. Bit of fun though, it's always fun to drive, you know. It's more fun to drive a slow car fast than it is to drive a fast car slow, as many say. But I have fun with this, it treats me well. I've only ever actually understeered in this car. Well, I have, but not like seriously. I did one time on dirt, which like it was open dirt, and it understeered, and it scared me completely. But even though like open dirt, it's like I was going to go into anything, but I think it was just the fact that I wasn't expecting it. Like it just went, and it was probably because it was on dirt too, obviously. But I mean, gravel wise, to be honest, I will say I do not have expensive tires on this at all. I have got like tires, like I think when we literally bought them, I was told don't overdo it with these tires. These tires are literally designed for the bare minimum, just driving. Alright, and I was like, alright, it has not been the case. I have definitely not treated them like that. But I mean, you say that, but they've handled up pretty fine. They do definitely screech a lot when you like do sharp turning, but they do the turns. So I mean, I'm not complaining. It does the job, does what it needs to. Yeah. One time we did, me and my mate, because he's got a Bluetooth connector, when I came to his house one time, we connected it into the smoke, I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but I plugged it in there, and I found that, because I saw that it has a bass and you know, 2 knobs on there to adjust the sound. So I thought it'd be pretty funny to, you know, we'll see like how loud it actually does. Now, at first I turned it up and it was quite bassy, but for some reason, I don't know, it just felt like you could turn it up more. And then I found it kind of has like a click where it goes from bass to real bass. Like it will go, you can go all the way around and it'll stop again, but it's like after a click, and then it's full bass. Like it's like full on like Subaru blasting it at, you know, hella high volume and whatnot. Hella high volume and whatnot, and it was just absolutely, you know, great to drive, great to listen to. It was fun. I mean, we were funny. We were playing songs that had crazy bass, and we were actually pissing at laughing because it is crazy loud, especially. But until I get a Bluetooth thing set up or whatnot, that's probably not gonna happen for a bit. So, yeah. Anyways, I actually hate this turn, not one of my favorites. I have driven actually quite a bit around. Do a bit of driving. This car, I think ever since I've got this car, I've actually just non-stop driving. All the money I spent on petrol is ridiculous. But yeah. do find that with this, it's kind of got like, you know how, I don't know if this actually, maybe I'm just feeling stuff, but how Honda has their VTEC, obviously when it's a certain rev, it'll then kick in, pushing more air fuel like mixture into it, you know, giving it more power, but that's at a higher rev. I do feel that with this, where it'll feel slow and then it'll get to like a certain point and it will just pull you back. And also I found that as it shifts into second or third, I reckon, it like pulls you, like you think normally when it shifts, it, you know, you go forwards a bit and then it kicks back in, it like doesn't move you forwards at all, it just kicks you like full on, like it like grips you, like it feels like third gear has a lower gear ratio at the start and it fully just pulls you in. But yeah, but I actually just love the sound of this car. Actually, it is a beautiful sound. But yeah, no. I'll make that. But anyways, I think we are coming back, so I think I'll leave it here for today. And well, thank you guys for watching. And that is my review of my Mercedes 180E.